Welcome. Professor Butler here. Today we are going to talk about time management for nursing school, something that is crucial for your success in nursing school. But before we get into the logistics of how to begin your time management per semester, let's go over some basic things that you need to keep in mind as you are preparing for your time management. First one, inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard, life is hard. So what does that actually mean? So it means that you need to do a little every day to stay on top of things. It will make you feel much more in control and make you feel empowered. And who doesn't want to feel empowered while studying in nursing school? Use the 45-15-minute rule when studying. What this means is that you study for a 45-minute period of time. So take your phone out, set your alarm for 45 minutes. When that alarm goes off, you're going to take a break for 15 minutes. You're going to do nothing associated with nursing school. Okay? So in that case, take 15 minutes, set that alarm, go do something else, something that has nothing to do with nursing school, something around the house, maybe something with your family, something with your pets, something for your self-care. Then once that alarm goes off, then you can go back and study, but again, using that 45-15-minute rule. Even if you're studying for several hours, still use this rule. Your studying will be much more effective. If any of you have ever tried studying for 2 or 3 hours of time straight, you get done, you're like, I don't know if I actually retained anything. By using the 45-15-minute rule, you'll be using your learning and memory that we study a lot of times in psychology to have your brain work most effective for you. Then this last one, study early, study often. If you do not review information within 24 hours after it was received, after presentation, 80% of that, poof, will be lost. So it is imperative that as we are looking at our time management, that we are thinking, all right, I got to do a little bit as often as possible. I'm going to consider the 45-15-minute rule anytime that I'm sitting and studying for any lengths of time. And then to make sure, based upon when your courses are, can I schedule a time that I can go review that information within the next 24 hours to hopefully make it stick so that 80% of it, poof, in a couple weeks when it's potentially exam day, does not go away. So these are the 3 concepts that we are starting with. Now we're going to start our actual management of time. So first thing that I would represent, I understand there's lots of beautiful things that technology brings, but you need to schedule your entire semester at a time. So what that means is go out and get an old desktop calendar. Get a big whiteboard, but you need to be able to visualize all 4 months or all 16 weeks in one setting so that you can look big picture and say, okay, how can I effectively manage my time? Okay? So with that being said, I am going to show you an example using 4 months, and here's how we're going to do it. Okay? So we have got 4 months here, and you're going to color code it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my 4 months here ready to go. Okay. So the first thing that you are going to do is with your color coding, in my case, I have a plethora of neon highlighters. So you're going to make a legend for yourself, okay? So starting out with potentially everything that is right here. So everything that potentially you have to show up for, green. So this may be your didactic classes, your skills lab, your simulation, your clinical. So the first thing you're going to go up here and you're going to put class or lab. Okay, so you're going to put that in your little cheat sheet, and I'm going to highlight it in green. And what you're going to do is every time that you have, let me pull this in just a little closer here. So every time that you are going to have a didactic class, a skills, clinical, or simulation, somewhere where you have to show up, you're going to go and put that in green. Okay, so maybe you have class on Tuesdays, you're going to write the time here. So every Tuesday, you got to be somewhere for class. All right, so we go through, do all of our Tuesday. All right, so say I have my didactic every Tuesday. So I'm going to go and put that on my calendar. Okay? So that's the first thing I'm going to start with. Then potentially I'm going to go, okay, what days do I have skills lab? All right, maybe you have skills lab on Mondays. Maybe it's every other Monday. All right, so got to be there. You're going to write your times in. All right, every other Monday. All right, we'll skip that one. And maybe you've got it for, say, 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and my 6 weeks of skills lab. All right, then maybe you're going to throw in your clinicals. All right, so maybe your clinical day ends up being on Thursday. All right, so, well, we know that that's going to be an all-day thing, right? So doing clinicals, maybe it starts at the beginning of semester and you've got 7 weeks. All right, so we're going to put clinical in, clinical in, clinical in. All right, so there's your 7 weeks of clinical. Maybe there's a couple simulations thrown in. Maybe one here, maybe one here. All right, so everywhere that you have to be, you want that all in one color so you know that that is a time that is already spoken for. All right, then the next biggest thing. What is the next biggest thing that students are concerned about in nursing school? All right, next biggest thing that students are concerned about in nursing school? Test day. All right, since it gets your heart rate racing, I guess pink's the closest thing that I've got. So I'm going to put exams. And then I'm going to highlight them in pink so that I've got a legend here so that if I forget what it is. All right. And just because exams, you know how excited I get about exams. Let's make them even bolder by putting black Sharpie around it. All right. So let's say my test day is on, say, Fridays. Okay. So say I have a test in, let's go week 4. Maybe week 8, week 12, and then maybe finals week, okay? So in that case, I'm going to go and I'm going to put all my tests in. Now, what this does, ladies and gentlemen, is it gives you a big picture of, hey, what's to come, right? As nurses, you're not just focused on what is happening right in front of you, you're also working to what is happening in the future. That's exactly what you're doing here with your time management. So now I got my exams all plotted out, okay? But most likely you will have more than one class of exams. So let's say, you know what? I've got another whole set of exams that are after each of these weeks. All right, there's an exam for another class. Exam for another class, exam for another class, and oh, you know what, it's finals week, so it's going to be the day before. So now I can start visualizing what my semester is going to look like. Best way to do time management when it comes to nursing school, guys, is lay out the entire semester. Put everywhere that you need to be first. Then go back and add your exams. Then after that, I'm going to start adding in those other little assignments, right? Little things that I need to do. And maybe I'm going to make a color code for them, right? Maybe, for instance, any of my clinical assignments, maybe I'll put all those in one color, okay? So I'm going to put clinical, and I'm going to put my clinical assignments in blue, all right? So in that case, these are my clinicals. Maybe they're due the following Friday after clinical. So then I'm going to type in whatever's due for my clinical and put it on that day. All right, whatever's due this clinical on this day. Oh, I got an exam there. Clinical's due this day. All right. This is where we start looking at time management. I might have maybe a paper due, but I have an exam coming that day. So this will allow you to prioritize what you're going to do with your time. How long is it going to take me to do that paper for clinical? How long is it going to take me to prep for an exam? Okay. So go through your clinical. We've got our assignments due. We're going to put those in here, okay? Then we're going to put any other assignments that you have potentially in orange. Okay, so any other assignment you may have, and put in when it's due. So this then allows you to start managing your time based upon big picture, right? If I've only got a skills lab for say 3 hours here, maybe a class for 3 hours here, does that allow me extra time to maybe start working towards any of those future assignments? So any other assignments that you have, papers, whenever you're due, what you should do is take your syllabus that is provided by your instructor, go in, put all of those dates here so that you can work accordingly. Then the last thing that we want to do, talking about that, review the content within 24 hours, especially that didactic section, okay? So if my didactic was on Tuesday, I'm going to look to see, is there a time that I can pencil in, maybe in purple, whatever that it is. Okay, so maybe my purple is the fact of this is going to be my review, my within 24 hours review. Look to see if I have class on Tuesday, will it allow me, do I have anything on Wednesday based upon my own personal schedule? If I work, if I have other commitments, is that going to allow me to review that content within 24 hours? And ladies and gentlemen, it is not that you have to sit and do it for hours on end. Even if it's 20 minutes, 20 minutes will still benefit you now, because again, if you do not review that information within 24 hours, 80% of it poof goes away. So start looking after every class that I have. Is it a possibility either I can review it that day or can I review it the other day? Then stick to it to ensure that you are using your time most efficiently. So once you've got that squared away, then it kind of opens up and you see, okay, I've got time here. I maybe have a big project that is coming on another date. When you look at the entire semester at one time, it will allow you to focus on the things that are most important, right? Like I said, inch by inch, life's a cinch, yard by yard, life is hard. So if you can do a little bit every single day. Now, if you noticed, I didn't put necessarily anything on the weekends, right? It is imperative. I understand that while you were in nursing school, it may feel like the only thing that is going on in your life, but it is a very small portion of who you are as an entire human being. It is crucial that you take time to care for yourself. This includes, guys, make sure that you get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, right? You know how the brain works most efficiently is when it gets proper rest. There is a reason that we have not evolved out of needing 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Make sure that you are prioritizing your sleep. Yes, there may be times that you don't. But like I said, you've got your Saturdays and Sundays. So if you can get at least 1 or 2 days away that you are not doing anything nursing related, that is hugely beneficial, right? Too much of something is not necessarily always a great thing. Everything, like in healthcare, is about balance. So make sure that you are balancing everything in your life, that you are giving time to your family, to your friends, investing in your own self-care, the things that make you the best version of you. Because if you do, you show up, your brain works more efficiently, you retain more information, right? And then all of a sudden, life is not hard because you're not pushing it out a month away. Inch by inch, I'm doing just a little bit every single day to ensure that I am getting to exactly where I need to be, retaining the information. No matter what, whenever you're doing this, make sure you use that 15-minute rule. I study for 45 minutes. I take a break for 15. Even if you're doing it for multiple hours, still that 15-minute rule. But ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you to date, this is the easiest and most effective way to manage your time in nursing school. You got a lot of stuff that is coming at you, and a lot of times you may feel that you have more things to do than time to do it. So plan it out. Doing it this way will make you feel empowered, will make you feel more control over what is happening, and you will ensure that whether you need to be somewhere, something needs to be done, or on those big test days, that you indeed are prepared. Thank you for your time. I hope that you found this video beneficial. Best of luck to you in nursing school and in your time management.